Hello everyone, in this video we are going to see about the blockchain technology in healthcare management. Let us see first of all what is blockchain technology. This technology aims to solve data management, privacy and security issues, improving interoperability and easing the flow of data between doctors, hospitals, healthcare systems and insurance providers through the use of a decentralized immutable database. This is the definition for the technology. So what it does is it collects the data, and the data is given in a decentralized form. That means every node has the data, and the blockchain technology has the immutable database, means database that cannot be changed. Okay, so here we have medical records for the of a patient, and that privacy has to be maintained and security also should be maintained. And interoperability means the how the patient can see the data and how the medical care system can access the data and how data flows between these two. So this all comes under the blockchain technology for healthcare management. Patients are demanding increased access to their medical health records with iOS. So every patient wanted to have their mobile phone and they wanted to access the data through their phones. So based on this, the blockchain technology came into existence. The definition here is blockchain is defined as a distributed, immutable public ledger formed by a collection of data records. So, distributed means wherever the data is flowing, every node has the data in its system. And it is immutable. It's public means the people who have the rights to access can access the data. For example, the hospital which they are approaching, as well as the doctors whom they are approaching. So the key features are decentralizations. Unlike centralized database like PayPal or land registries, which are prone to hacking, blockchain uses the peer-to-peer control, which means when the data is centralized means it is prone to hacking. Okay, so now we are making this data as decentralized. That means every node, we all know that data network is a collection of many nodes, and every node has its own memory capacity and the processor capacity to process the data. So here every node has the copy of the data, and the blockchain uses the peer-to-peer control. Okay, and immutability, once data is recorded, it is permanent and linked to the previous records through the hashes. So hashes is the technology by which the data is mapped between the database, making it nearly impossible to alter without changing the all subsequent blocks across all nodes simultaneously. So the nodes are the system and which is under the network, and the copy of the data is all kept in the nodes. So unless if you want to make a change in one node, it has to be reflected in all the nodes simultaneously. So that is not easily possible. So that technology make the data immutable, means no one can change the data without the proper permission. And then transparency and trust. It provides a transparent and auditable ledger of events through timestamping. It creates trust in a trustless environment by rewarding those who validate the data. So here the transparency is means we can the data is visible to everyone, and they have the timestamp. Timestamp means it shows which data is changed at what time, and that is an accountable ledger. Ledger is the collection of data, so that creates a trust in a trustless environment. So based on these features, the blockchain technology helps in the um, healthcare data management. So the technical mechanism here we are using the consensus protocol, means new data is approved by nodes using the protocol such as proof of work or proof of stake. So here for example, a patient record is there, and the record has a patient has been given some new treatment or new report has been generated for the patient, and that is approved in every node. and that will be that data will be added to the particular system. Okay, so it with only the proof of work or the proof of stake means the proper medical record or the reports shown, the only the data will be updated. Nodes, every node on the network holds an identical copy of the blockchain, ensuring that there is no single point of failure. What does mean is, suppose we know that data has to flow between the network for all the transaction to be done between the patient and the healthcare management. And in that, if at all a node fail, that means if at all a network in the network, if something fails, the copy will be maintained in the other nodes, and that will be used in the failure node also. That means the failure is very rare. Even the failure comes, what happened? The data from the previous node is copied to the other nodes to maintain the integrity. And then crypto economics and game theory, these techniques incentivize good behavior among the miners. Who are the miners? They play a crucial role in maintaining the integrity and security of the cryptocurrency network. So here, when the data is properly used and the data is maintained properly, the miners are given the incentives. Incentive means the some it's again in the form of a Bitcoin. It's a digital currency like rewards we get in the Google Pay and all those things. So these rewards help them to these rewards can be changed in future for any other medical transaction. That means in the case of money, they can have some concession on based upon the rewards they earned by the crypto economics. Okay, so this is the way they are encouraged to maintain the consistency of the data. That is called incentivizing, means the good behavior. That means they are maintaining the proper record in an effective manner. So the application of this where this blockchain is verifying the supply chain. So here a major use case in chronological and auditable tracking of medical materials. So main application is how the supply chain is verified. What the supply chain is, for example, uh, the methods are fraud prevention. You can identify fraudulent activity or errors in the journey from manufacturer to pharmacy. For example, a medicine is prescribed for the patient, and that the from the manufacturer to the pharmacy, how the data I means how the medicine is properly the transformed, or the how it is given to the pharmacy and how it came to the patient. That means it helps to prevent the fraud which happens in passing the medicine from manufacturer to the pharmacy. That means they have some track of this manufacturer date and the expiry date and the life of the medicine and all those things they will track using the proper records what are available. And then cold chain integrity. So this can confirm that sensitive treatments such as insulin remain appropriately cooled and untampered with the date during delivery. So this all maintaining about the quality of the medicine used for the particular patient. And then counterfeit medicine, that means some substandard medicine. Sometimes just to reduce the cost, they may give the fake medicine or the substandard medicine, so that also can be tracked properly. This technology is specifically being used in developing countries to combat the counterfeit medication, that means the false medication. Next application is the incentivized wellness. So what is incentives? Again, the same incentive is given. Blockchain can be used to reward patient for healthy lifestyle using the cryptocurrency token. So we know that to encourage the patient, they are given the Bitcoin like a token, digital token to encourage that as a reward. So example is the behavioral reward. Patients can earn tokens for activities like they go for a gym, they meet up with they go for walking, they set up the goals of properly time meal eating, attending education sessions, or adhering to the medication. So those rewards, those behaviors are rewarded by the Bitcoin, and that is one of the way the blockchain technology reward the patients to maintain the healthy lifestyle. And then economic value, so these tokens, they act as a tradable currency, means they can use these rewards as to when the transaction comes for medical payment and all, they can use this Bitcoin as the tradable currency, or can be stored in the health token savings accounts so that they can use it for the future hospital transaction. That means when they need to pay the hospital bills, this cryptocurrency also can be given as a part of the payment. The next application of this is patient record access and interoperability. So we know that the patient records is maintained properly and the transition comes from the provider held records to patient-centered data access. So provider held record means those give the record, that's the lab people, those we give the records to the patient-centered data access. So that means the patient can, it is a common memory pool, like this patient also can access their data as they require. So how the security is maintained, security and privacy, data is secured via cryptographic encryption and digital signatures. Only those with relevant public keys can access the information. So the data is put in their record and it is stored in the as a record form, and the whose store has the key to access the data, and also the patient also have the key to access the data. So those keys are the public keys which helps to access the information both between the doctors, the hospital management as well as the patient. By this the data is secured and privacy is maintained. Then interoperability, which means blockchain allows for the seamless flow of data between doctors, hospitals, and insurance providers. Because when the patient has been being treated, they need the insurance information, and they have to get from the hospital and far from the patient. So there is a common like a common storage where the every data will flow without any proper that is the flow, the seamless flow means without any block the data flows between the providers as well as the hospital as well as the patient. That is called interoperability. This means on time we can give the medication, on time we can give the claim for the people. So those the thing comes under the interoperability. Then patient ownership, patient can verify every attempt to access or process their data, because as they are the owner of the data, so they can verify every attempt. Even a doctor access the data, why he access the data, for what is the reason he need the data, or the other public they are, because nowadays data has been shared to many people for other research and everything. So the patient know how the data has been used, so the ownership can be maintained by the patients, okay, which ensures immutable, auditable trial of their medical history. So some medicines are they are there is a chronic medicine like a BP or a blood pressure or a sugar, or there's any cancer patient, they have some medical history, and those history they need from the day they are diagnosed, and they should not be muted. That means they should be immutable, means no one can change the data without their permission. So the data is very well owned by the patient, as well as when any changes are done with the or access is done by the hospital or any other public resources, the patient come to know how the data has been used, okay. And then smart contracts, as it implies, the ledger can be programmed into trigger automatic transactions known as smart contracts. This allows for a wider application of technology by automating processes when specific conditions are met within the healthcare ecosystem. So healthcare ecosystem is a system which has the patient record and everything. So the smart contracts means the ledger is nothing but the content of the records, the patient records, as and with all the records, the treatment history, their reports, and their payment, everything. So this ledger can be programmed to trigger automatic transaction known as smart contracts. Means it has the process can be automated when some situation arises. Okay, so that is the way the healthcare system can access the patient data without any concern from the patient. Okay, so this Blockchain technology is just in the case of patient, this medical care system is it's a collection of medical records and how the data is accessed and controlled by both the patient as well as the records, as well as the medical institution or the medical hospital, medical clinics which they access the data. Okay, so that's all how the blockchain technology is used in the healthcare management. Hope it is easy to follow, and thanks for watching.